But it's flying so high. Look at the stars shining so bright in the middle of the night. Oh look, there's a shooting star. Do you ever wonder who created this and who created that? Allah created everything. What about that tree, so beautiful and green? Can you see the wind brushing those leaves? Look at that fish swimming away in the beautiful ocean under the waves. Do you
Hey, it's Green Thumbs Up Day, and we have a very, very, very special day. Assalamu alaikum, good morning, dumelang, sanibonani, goeiemorgen my vriende, hoe gaan het met julle? Well folks, I hope you're all well there in Radio Al-Ansarland. You know this is Green Thumbs Up, the pulse of the planet. The pulse of the planet. Yes, that is our brand. As you know, we are that gardening and natural living show you didn't know you needed, darlings. And with me in studio is brother Siboniso Mkize. And of course, we've also got brother Zakaria Omar with us in studio today. And I would say, folks, if you are anywhere near the Woofy Spuffy, where you can actually access video, I would encourage you to do just that, dearie darlings, on Radio Al-Ansar's Facebook, YouTube, and are we Instagram, Facebook, YouTube? No, Facebook and YouTube, yes. And you can always join me on my TikTok, Life Coach Rabia, as well. And we are going to be doing something very special today. So firstly, we always do the weather, and I'm just going to do a small segue to say, folks, the weather is changing, and that's your weather for today. It's getting colder in Joburg, it's getting colder in Cape Town. Brother Zakaria, we mentioned you last week, because do you know it actually hit 17 degrees in Cape Town? You would have loved it. Yes, there he is, doing an air punch. But today, with the cold weather and with the changes in the weather, there's something else that goes on. There's all sort of critters that come out into our gardens and into our homes. Yes, the slithering kind. Yes, darlings. So today, we have some guests in studio, which is why I said if you are able to get to one of those video platforms, remember we are on radio 904.7 in Durban, 105.6 in Pietermaritzburg, but we're also on the socials. Then you want to see us on the socials today because it's a bit of a show and tell today, and we're going to be touching some things. So with us in studio is an award-winning educational organization that goes about teaching people all about reptiles. Yes, today we're talking about reptiles. Now you're going to say, some of you who are new to the show may say, hang on, isn't this the gardening show, folks? We have evolved so far. As you know, Green Thumbs Up has never been purely only gardening. We do gardening, we do natural living, sustainable living, we do nature's apothecary. And in actual fact, snake venom is used in a lot of remedies as well as medicines, and we need to know this. So this is about teaching us, and it's about teaching our children that everything is part of the ecology. So who is this award-winning institution that is with us this morning? It is Heads and Tails Exotic, and they specialize in educational reptile shows, snake awareness programs, birthday parties, team building events, and reptile removals. And with me here in studio, we have Brendan and we have Safia. And Brendan and Safia started this whole shkaboodle, didn't they? Brendan, good morning. Safia, good morning. Thank you for being with us on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So, Brendan, can you tell me a little bit about how this got started? Because I know it was your fault.
Okay, so hi guys. I'm Brendan Lachmeyer. I'm one of the owners of Heads and Tails Exotics, as well as one of the founders. So how it actually all began, I've always had a love for reptiles from the time I was really small. So my parents always had a hard time, with me. Mom being a Zulu, dad being an Indian, they were both scared of snakes. And yeah, they were both scared of snakes. So let's just say I wasn't the easiest child to deal with growing up. So when I got of age, I was never allowed to keep snakes. Got of age, moved out of home at 18. Been with my wife from the time we're 16. Today we're 26 years old. So once I got the opportunity, when I moved out of home, started living with my in-laws, I was like, you know what, can I please keep a snake? And my entire in-law family, they are scared of snakes. So they've always had the perception that snakes were bad, they were evil, and, you know, just misunderstood. So then when I got the thumbs up from my mother-in-law, I was like, you know what, I have to take it. So I've actually got the very first snake that we got here today, and her name's Catalea. She's a ball python, one of the most common snakes in the trade, as well as they're extremely docile. So when she gave me the thumbs up, I bought her, and I took her home. My wife was like, you are not coming home with the snake. She was like, it's not going to happen. Not come. So I said, no, give me a week. Give me a week and I'm going to change your mindset. And I would say 3 days into that 7-day week, I changed the entire family's mindset about reptiles. And since then, it is actually my wife's idea to do reptile shows. It was never mine. It was always mine to open a facility, like a reptile facility. And obviously that's a long shot. It's I would say it's a long-term dream. So she was like, you know what, let's try this reptile show thing. Let's see how it goes. And I was like, okay, you know what, you do everything. You hook up the appointment with the school and stuff, because I was totally doubting it. And I'm like, if it works, I'm there. I'll speak on them. I'll educate the public. And we got our first school, which was Barracuda Primary. And I just say from there it was upwards and onwards. And this is where we are today, multi-award winning with international recognition. So, yeah.
Tell us about some of the awards tell us about some of the awards that you've won and what they are about. You know, was this for education? What was it?
Okay, so we actually got 3 awards to our name. The first award we ever won was KZN YBA. That's with Hollywood Foundation and the KZN Youth Business Award, where we took first place in our category. That was more on where we just have to submit a proposal, all our documents, and they would actually choose who would be the winner. So it wasn't specifically for education, but it's just to say, in KZN, a company that's making a big impact in our economy. So we won that, and then thereafter it was the Young Achievers Awards, KZN, where we also came out first place in that. And then the last one that we got, which was early last year, which was with MEA Markets, which is from the UK, which we actually won an award that made us the best reptile education company in South Africa.
Wow, that is incredible. We say, Alhamdulillah, that you are growing. And I want to correct you on one thing. It's not the last award. It's the most recent. Okay? It's the most recent. With us in studio, there sitting in the background, folks, we have to greet her because she's the reason this happened, of course. She's our new producer, as you know, which is Kelly Ramzani. Assalamu alaikum, sister. She doesn't want to say hello, but we're going to say hello.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Rabia. Absolute pleasure being here on your company, in all of your company. Safia, nice to finally meet you. We spoke a lot on the phone. And thank you for honoring the invite. I'm just fascinated by the kind of information you all are sharing. So I'm here to listen. And and I came to see what we have, but I think the reveal will be done later. So I'm going to leave you to that, Rabia, whenever you're ready.
Thank you. So Safia, he brought these snakes home. A snake, yes? You started with one. And who was the snake? Did you have a name for it?
Would you like me to take her out?
Yeah, let's take her out. What did you say her name was?
Her name's Catalea.
Catalea, okay.
She's a ball python.
She's a ball python. So, Safia, how did you take me through that? Because he brings home the snake. Firstly, I would have run for the hills. I would have said, thank you, but no, thank you. Hello, darlings. Oh, dear. Here we go. Safia, how was that for you? And tell me, what made you change your mind?
So I was extremely scared. When we grew up, we knew that snakes were bad and they would harm us and they could potentially kill us. So I was terrified. Eventually, by watching her behavior, her movements, and I could see that she was not intending to harm anybody. I started opening up towards her. I could not touch her at first, and just the sight of her was just so much for me. And then eventually, when I saw that she's calm and she wouldn't hurt, then I started opening up, and that's when I gave the idea to Brendan for us to do it for other people as well. As you know, most people are very terrified of snakes, so I said to him, let's go out and do it for other people, and he was totally against it. And eventually I started sending out emails. I started networking with lots of people. And it just took off from there.
Well, I don't know how you got over this. She's kind of climbing up me over here, and I feel it kind of tightening just a smidge. She's okay. She's okay. I'll get over it. I only got over my fear of snakes going on 2 years ago now, but I'm grateful for the opportunity to hold them. They have a very different kind of an energy. But now, so this is Miss Catalia, who's going around the back of my neck now. Are you trying to strangle me, girl? Oh, my hat's in a basket. Now she's on this side. Okay, let's get the camera on there so you guys can see.
Dude, she just likes the feel of your scarf.
Oh, she likes the feel of my scarf, and she's wrapping around my neck, folks. Is she supposed to be wrapping around?
She's quite small,
okay.
So there's
She's
no
not going to
significant
strangle
risk
me.
with it.
Okay, all right then. I'll believe you on that one. Okay, then you're holding a white snake. She's what is she? Albino.
So it's one and the same snake. Okay, same species, the ball python, but that is a normal. And what I've got in my hand here is actually a leucistic. So albino or albino would be yellow, whereas the leucistic gene is full white. And then once you put a UV light over the snake, the patterns will show in blue.
Oh man alive!
Yeah.
We don't happen to have a UV
So
light here.
why it's known as the blue-eyed leucistic is because it's got blue eyes.
Oh wow, she's got blue eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, now where do these occur in nature? Because that's the point of it, isn't it? Like, where does it occur in nature?
So funny enough, most people ask us, like when we take out the ball pythons, because they know pythons originate from overseas, they just assume, no, it's like from Asia or, but
America.
they actually come from West and Central Africa.
So they are around us.
Yeah, just not South African,
Not South
but
Africa.
yeah, West and Central Africa. So that's Lebanon, Nigeria, Ghana, countries like that. And these guys are terrestrial, meaning they live on the ground, they live in shrubs, burrows. And if you go out that side, you'd actually, see them quite often, like in the fields and stuff.
I want to describe for the listeners who may have never held a snake before, because this was for me something very, very different. If you've ever held those children's slime, without the slipperiness, but that same feeling of coolness. This one wants to go up my arm. Okay, come along then. Oh, look at the blue eyes. So that feeling of coolness, and it's very strange the way they move, because it's kind of like it doesn't slither over you. It just kind of, now it's in one spot and then it moves in another. Is that because of its skeleton, I would imagine? Because how do they move? They don't have legs.
Yeah, so how they normally move is they would either slither, or the underbelly has scales which will pull against each other and push, kind of like caterpillar. So that actually helps the movement. And, with snakes, they're 100% muscle.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. So I believe Miss Kathleen is a bit jealous. So I mustn't bring this one next to her.
No, not at all, eh?
Neck.
No, they
Yeah,
don't get
not at all. I can actually take her out and take a different species and hold them together. Nothing would happen.
And funny, you'd expect them to be cold, but they're not cold. They're warm, aren't they?
Yeah, so the reason why they're actually warm is because at home we have heating in the enclosures, and then on the way here, because we knew it was a chilly day, we actually put the heat on in the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why does it feel like she's actually breathing?
She is.
I can actually feel the little breath on my face. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. So what do they eat?
So
Things, the different ones?
yeah, so a few of our snakes actually eat rats and mice, and then you've got others like the Taiwanese rat snake that we feed baby chicks and quail to, and then occasionally we actually give her an egg.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they eat the egg whole, don't
Yeah.
they?
And then,
How long does it take them to digest?
so if you're looking at a rat, a snake this small, it will take it anywhere between 24 to 48 hours, maybe even 72. But with a bigger snake, you're looking at 24 hours.
So what's the biggest creature they will eat? Anything they can get into their mouth?
Not exactly, because realize their mouth does stretch quite a bit, and we don't want to overstretch that capacity. So what we actually do is, the thickest part of the snake, we would give it a meal that is slightly thicker than that to sustain it for the week, because they only eat once a week.
But now their mouths, there's something that I believe about snakes, is their mouths come completely unhinged.
That is correct, yeah. So they're actually capable of unhinging their jaws to 180 degrees.
Wow, Kelly, would you like to come over here and hold this one? Or Sibonisi, would you like to hold one? Come on now, let's get over the fears. Let's bring Kelly Ramzani into the camera here. The microphone is working. Just a second. We're going to get Kelly Ramzani here into the show because we want to give her one of the snakes. Let's do that. Let's give her. Okay, let's just do this because we want to give her one of the snakes.
Oh dear Lord. Okay.
Kelly, here you go. Have you ever held a snake before? This is her first time holding a snake. Okay, be gentle now. She's probably more. Do you want me to take her back?
I really can't. I'm sorry.
Okay, let me take her back.
Okay, I like you all from afar. You're good, okay? I have to come. It's so fascinating to watch.
They are interesting to watch, aren't
Oh
they?
my God.
They are interesting. I'm going to give you back. What's her name? Mr. Noodles. Snowflakes. You look like a noodle. Is it a girl or a boy?
So that's actually a boy.
Mr. Noodles. That is your name now. So I'm going to give Snowflake back, aka Mr. Noodles, just for the show. And so you were telling us about snakes. Now, sometimes people get snakes coming into their houses and coming into their gardens, okay? How do we prevent that?
Okay, so there's many misconceptions going around where people especially will say, hey, use this, it's a snake repellent. Use that, it's a snake repellent. To be honest with you, there is nothing that can repel a snake.
Oh.
The only way you can limit snakes from coming into your yard is to limit the amount of clutter that's around your yard. Remove, if you've got like trees that are cut down and just left in a corner, or things from your house that you're looking to move and are left in a corner, a snake will end up showing itself there because they feel quite comfortable there because it's dark, they're concealed, so they will end up showing themselves. But for the most part, there is nothing that can actually repel a snake.
And what are they coming for? They're coming for roaches? They're coming for rats? What are they coming for?
There's actually many reasons. A snake could actually just be passing through, or it could be following the scent of a rat. You got quite a few snakes like the spotted bush snake and the brown house, which have really adapted well to urbanization. So they actually eat your house geckos. So that's why you'd find them so much in your home.
Okay. And of course, you've also got geckos, right? So it's not just snakes that you're teaching about. You're teaching us. Now, I see something over there that I am so grillerig about, is the only word I can think about, because I'm seeing a label. And I hope that's not what's in the box.
No, we actually had the white.
Oh my goodness, because that box says, folks, that box says Madagascar cockroaches. And if there's one thing I can't deal with, it's the roaches. She's getting a little tight around the neck, yeah, guys. But she's not hurting me. She's not hurting me. She's still okay. She's still okay. Okay. It's kind of cool, actually. I think I'll just, carry one of these around in future. And I'll just be, the desert girl. With this snake. If you have any questions, you know where to WhatsApp us. 060 904 1056. Brother Siboniso is on the lines. He can read your messages, and if you'd like to call in, same number, 060 904 1056. Siboniso wants to tell us something. Go ahead, brother.
The question that I have, how do you describe that this is a female or a male?
Yes, how do you determine the gender?
Okay, that's actually quite a good question. So, for the most part, what we actually do, which I'll demonstrate now, is called a pop sex.
All right.
So, this is known as the cloaca. It's the private part of a snake. Male and females both have cloacas, just that males would have hemipenes, which are two penis that will protrude through the cloaca, and females would have nothing. So, I'll actually demonstrate. So, you put one hand here firmly. You don't want to squeeze too much, you don't want to bend too much. And then what you'd actually do
Go ahead.
is slightly rub your thumb on either side.
Oh, shame, is it not hurting her?
No, not at all.
Not hurting her, Mr. Noodles.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we seeing there?
So
We're seeing-
that, in fact, is a female.
Oh, so Mr.
Yeah.
Noodles is a Mrs. Noodles.
Because we haven't actually sexed it from the time we have it, and we actually bought it off someone, which we were told was a male.
Oh.
Yeah.
And are you actually you found out on the show that your he is a her. And so Mr. Noodles, yes.
Lucky we gave it a neutral name.
It's a neutral name. It's Snowflake. So Snowflakes is actually, I don't know what this one is trying to achieve around me, but nonetheless. So tell us a little bit more. So you've told us about the snakes. I understand keeping them as a pet in Islam, it's a very different situation. We don't keep them as pets, but we do learn about them in nature and their role in nature, and they're part of the ecosystem. They do get rid of, the creatures that really shouldn't be there. This one is doing weird things on my chest. So they really do kind of take care of the ecosystem. They're going to get rid of the things that aren't too much. They keep things in balance, don't they? Balance.
That is 100%
right. But you've got other things here that you're wanting to show us and tell us about. What is something else you'd like to show us?
Okay, so you're speaking about geckos.
Yes.
So I'll actually, Safi will actually take out Otis, which is a leopard gecko. They actually come from Pakistan, Nepal, and India. You'd see the color of him is much different to what we'll actually get at home.
A gecko.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people in Durban just don't like geckos, and they say that if a gecko falls into water, then it poisons the water, and you shouldn't drink the water or something like. Is there any truth to that? Is it just an urban legend?
No, that is not urban legend or myth at all. So your tropical house geckos, that's their formal term. Their saliva actually has poison in it.
Oh. Yeah. So it's the saliva that's an issue. So it is a thing that if you have geckos and they go into a source of water, you shouldn't drink that water.
Not at all, even if it's spoiled.
Okay. All right. And this is the gecko. Oh my goodness, it is beautiful. Folks, if you are listening in and not watching, I must. Oh, they are not good friends.
Yeah,
so we cannot
we just
bring
remove
the
the
gecko near
snake
the
off
snake.
your neck for a moment?
Let's take the snake off my neck, and then I can. If one of you wants to take her off, she's actually quite tight around. And while we do that, we're going to go to an ad break while we untangle the snake, and we'll be back after this.
WhatsApp us now on 060 904 1056.
Radio Al Ansar, Durban 90.4 FM, Peter Maritzburg 105.6 FM.
At this time of trial and worry, the blessings of charity are the ideal means to avoid calamity and despair. The Al Imdad Foundation gives you the opportunity to sponsor a share in a borehole in South Africa for just 1,000 Rand and provide what the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, called the best form of charity. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم انصر إخواننا المستضعفين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم حرر المسجد الأقصى من اليهود الغاصبين. اللهم انصر إخواننا المرابطين على أرض فلسطين. اللهم شد أزرهم وسدد رميهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم الطف بإخواننا في كل مكان يذكر فيه اسمك يا أرحم الراحمين. استنصروك يا الله فانصرهم. اللهم ارحم الضعفاء والفقراء والمساكين والأيتام والنازحين والمشردين والأسرى يا أرحم الراحمين.
اللهم أنج المستضعفين من المسلمين في فلسطين. اللهم كن لهم عونا ونصيرا. اللهم كن لإخواننا المرابطين في المسجد الأقصى. اللهم كن لهم ولا تكن عليهم. اللهم فرج همهم، نفس كربهم، داوي جرحاهم، عاف مبتلاهم، اشف مرضاهم، ارحم موتاهم، تقبل شهداءهم.
Welcome to Simplex Radio. Visit our showroom for the full range of car audio. Our TV department carries top brands with quality LED panels, full HD to Ultra HD, and now the experience of Super Ultra HD. Visit our theater rooms and transform your home with brands like Onkyo, Integra, Denon, Boston Acoustics, Yamaha, and more for quality audio visual experience. Now available, full range of home appliances. A one-stop shopping experience. Call 031 306 4029 or Kenilworth Park, 202 Brickville Road, Overport. Simplex Radio, the name you can trust.
This May, something beautiful is coming your way. Urban Women and Community Buzz are coming together to celebrate the strength of you, the woman who carry it all.
If you're a widow or a single mom who is the sole provider, this is your moment.
We're selecting 50 incredible women for a special day filled with joy, appreciation, and love. Because you matter most.
To qualify, simply DM your story and date of birth on Instagram at Al-Ansar Foundation. Proudly brought to you by Al-Ansar Outreach.
Radio Al-Ansar.
Get ready for Green Thumbs Up, the gardening and natural living show you didn't know you needed. I'm your host and life coach, Rabia Carvalho, and we're talking birds, bees, butterflies, and blooms, growing food in garden rooms, home-based holistic healing, and much more. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or nature lover, plant assassin, or permaculture professional, we got you. We got you. Let us bring you the ideas, the facts, support, and inspiration to go green wherever you are. Sundays 9 to 10 a.m. only on Radio Al-Ansar.
Left all my dreams in the backseat. We used to dream with paper planes, wrapped in a cape, planning our escape. Scars on my skin, learn from my mistakes. Tears in my eyes, wiped up from my face. The sun disappears till I hear my name. Is mama calling now? I'm an hour late. The older I get, the harder I fall. My dreams were so big, even though I was small. I was told that I can't, but I'm still gonna try. Now I'm up in the clouds, with no wings I'ma fly, oh fly away. Fly away, fly away, fly away, oh fly.
Every single place I go, people call me foreign. Laying low lately, that don't mean I can't be sorry. Other side of the globe, somewhere I ain't never been. I was searching everywhere, forgot to look within. Now I understand the world is bigger than the block, yeah. Used to play hot lava, posted at the park, yeah. Now my Akis carry lava cause the block is hot, yeah. Where did all the years go? Can't change the past, but our future yet to unfold. Gotta keep myself driven, ever neutral. I've been writing with a purpose, so I speak it for my soul. Gotta do this for my youngest till the day I die. Even if I don't succeed, I can say I tried. You see a smile, cause the pain we just tryna hide. Just tryna show my people you don't need no wings to fly. The older I get, the harder I fall. My dreams were so big, even though I was small. I was told that I can't, but I'm still gonna try. Now I'm up in the clouds, with no wings I'ma fly, fly away. Fly away, fly away, fly away, oh fly.
اقرأ وافهم. read and understand the Holy Quran. Your program giving you the most powerful manual for life. It's the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Last Testament. The ayahs are recited, translated and explained for us to understand by various learned scholars of Islam. Comes to you every Sunday at 8 p.m. and Fridays at 10:30 p.m. Iqra wafham. Read and understand.
Getting you through your day. Radio Al Ansar.
Under the stars, I raise my hands in prayer. Tears falling, carrying my despair. Your memories linger, they fill my heart with grace. In every shadow, in every vacant place. Oh Allah, grant me strength to mend. I hope the angels look over you, my friend. Inshallah, we'll meet again in Jannah, where there's no end. Your smile and laughter echo deep within. Though we're apart now, you can count on me, my friend. In the gardens of the merciful, we will reunite.
Radio Al Ansar, 24/7, 365.
Mercy, bathed in eternal light. Oh Allah, grant me strength to mend. I hope the angels look over you, my friend. Inshallah.
WhatsApp us now on 060 904 1056.
That natural and gardening, natural living and gardening radio show that you didn't know you needed, and you didn't know that you needed to see all of these reptiles and to learn all about them. But with us in studio is Safia and Brendan from Heads and Tails Exotics, and they have brought some of their display, shall we call it, animals with them. And today actually is Cat Leah's birthday, so we want to wish her a happy birthday. And who is Cat Leah? Cat Leah is a ball python, but you said something about ball pythons also being known as something else.
Yes, so the ball python species is also known as the royal python because when Queen Cleopatra used to rule over Egypt, the royal family was known to wear live ball pythons as jewelry.
Okay.
So
But they
that
don't
was-
stay put, they keep moving.
Not exactly, hey. Like if she wants to, she can actually stay still for a long time.
Okay.
But I don't know how they manipulated them into,
Wow.
you know, staying as crowns and things like that.
The flute, the snake charming. Apparently snakes respond to vibration, which is actually why the snake charmers used to play the flute and had nothing to do with the choice of music. This is something that I'd learned.
Okay, can I actually add to that?
Yes, please.
So normally you see, like in India especially, snake charmers, when they're playing the flute, they actually use cobras. Cobras work with movement. That's why you'd see them moving like this with the flute. That's because the cobra's not actually paying attention to the music for the most part. They're actually moving with his movement.
Okay. But you've also got a gecko here, right? With us. Tell us a little bit about him and some facts that we should know about this leopard gecko.
Okay, so we actually have Otis, our leopard gecko. He is about 4.5 years old. We bought him off someone. So he came to us old as well. So the cool thing about leopard geckos, so they actually come from India, Pakistan and Nepal. They live in rocky crevices and burrows. So with him, you can actually see the size of his tail. It's quite thick. That's because every time he eats, some of the food goes into his stomach and the rest goes into his tail. So that when there's no food or it's hibernation season, he would actually secrete the food from his tail back into his stomach to remain full.
I also think I can do that when there's pudding on the table. I also want an extra tummy. So he's got kind of like cows have an udder and they can regurgitate their food when they need it and they're sitting there. So he can regurgitate his food. He's got like a spare.
Yeah.
So if ever there's times of hunger, he ain't going to go hungry. So I am keeping Cat Leah away. Happy birthday, Cat Leah. Cat Leah's birthday today. She is 4 years old. Happy birthday, darling. Yes. She has been sniffing. So their tongue. Tell us a little bit about the movements, the tongue. You mentioned there's something to do with their tongue.
Yes. So with snakes, the reason why they actually flick their tongue is because on the roof of their mouth, they have an organ called the Jacobson organ. So that organ is kind of like a navigation system for the snake. So what happens is every time she flicks her tongue, she picks up particles in the air. Those particles pass through the Jacobson organ and then send signals to the brain. That then tells the snake, this is where I am. Is there danger? Is there food? Is there water? And then after getting all that information, she would know how to react and where to move.
That is incredible. So now you've got something else in those boxes for us. Please show us. So, folks, if you've got any questions, please send them to 0609041056. We're going to move on to this next little one that you have. What is that, and what are you going to be showing us next?
Okay, so I'll show you something a bit more exciting next. But for that one, we're
More
going
exciting.
to have to
This
put
is
these
already-
two away
Okay.
for that next snake I'm going to bring out. And her name is Trinity.
Trinity.
So-
Let's bring on Trinity. Let's take Cat Leah. Happy birthday, darling. You're going back in your box. So, dear listeners, if you have snakes in your garden, just remember what we said here on the show was rather than trying to keep the snakes away, and there are some plants, snakewort, pennywort, pennyroyal, some of the mint family that supposedly snakes don't like. I have her as a bracelet, but it apparently makes no difference because snakes only stay away when there is no food source for them. So if the food source is available to them, if you've got mice around, then you're going to be attracting snakes. Okay, if you've got hens, also I've noticed when I had chickens and the chickens had chicks and the chicks, they had eggs and the chicks had hatched, the snakes would come in from the forest. Now, depending on where you are in Durban, snakes may or may not be venomous. And there are some venomous snakes, particularly near the Palmet. Oh, wow. The Palmet River. Folks, I'm saying, oh, wow, because this baby that's coming out, Trinity, you say. Okay, hello. Do I just pick her up like this? Okay, that's fine. Yes, let's put her around my neck because she is long. She is a big girl. Whoa, she's heavy. She is heavy. Okay, this does feel like one would imagine a snake to feel. It moves quite fast. Tell us a little bit about her.
Okay, so the reason why she's quite a quick snake, she's actually an arboreal snake. So she spends most of her time in the trees. Excuse me. And that's what makes her as quick as she is.
She's fast.
So she actually comes from Southeast Asia. So she does occupy a large part of Taiwan and China.
Look, I have a moustache. It's a snake's tail. Okay.
So you remember in the beginning when you asked me, what do certain snakes eat that we keep?
Yes.
So with her, she's actually on baby chicks and quail.
Right. She's also on my glasses at the moment. Baby chicks and quail. So you have to, and so this is every day. It's quite an expensive thing though, isn't it?
To be honest, it's every week. We feed them once a week. But yeah, when you add it up, because we've got like 50 to 80 different species of snakes in our collection. So when you add it up, it is quite large amounts every month. Yeah.
Okay, so the energy of this thing is very, very different. She's a fast mover, and it doesn't give you those joy, peaceful feelings that you would with Cat
She does
Leah,
keep you
the
on your
ball
toes.
passer. This one keeps you on your toes. This is something that, I mean, if I saw her in my garage or in my garden, I would run. And she's literally all over me, folks. She is literally all over me. She just wants to get to know every nook and... Whoa!
No.
Okay, I got a fright there. Every nook and cranny, because she moves so fast. So, but you have a lot more interesting things to tell us. Please do.
So I'll tell you the first thing, how I actually got my hands on the snake. So there was a pet store that was opened and...
Sorry, you sure she's not going to bite it?
I promise you.
Okay, because she's like really busy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just her temperament. She's a very
All right.
busy snake. So how I actually got the snake, there was a pet store just opened and they were having this competition. Whoever can handle the snake without getting bitten can take it home.
Right.
So she was the one. So they had about 4 to 5 different Taiwanese rat snakes in the one enclosure, and all the staff, they were complaining. They're like, this one, every time we go in, she strikes. She wants to bite.
She strikes, and you're giving her to me, and you said she doesn't bite, and I'm fighting this thing moving around me like a squirrely whirly noodle. This is not a noodle. This is a giant spaghetti.
When I actually got her, she was about 90 centimeters.
90 centimeters. But she's a lot longer than that. What is she now?
She is actually 2.3 meters long.
Well, she's much taller than I am.
So she was much smaller.
No, you can't go in there.
Yeah,
She's gone. Can I just yank her?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
So she was much smaller, and she was so defensive. She was not aggressive at all. She was defensive. Why? Because she was just not comfortable in the environment that she was in.
Okay.
So she wasn't reacting good to it, because she moved from a facility where they were breeding her now to a pet store. And normally what we do when we get snakes, especially when we buy snakes from a pet store, I will actually take them home. Myself and Safia, we quarantine them. We don't put them in the same room with the rest, because if it has any illness, that's going to spread.
Right.
Thereafter, we would put it into an enclosure, and for 1 week, we would not interfere with that snake, just to get it to settle in and get quite relaxed. Thereafter, we'll start to feed and interact. And I don't think they did that because it's a pet store environment. It's a very fast-moving.
Right.
So the thing was to take the snake and handle it with your hands, no tools, and not get bit. So I actually won the competition with her. And yeah, this is her today, as calm as she gets. Just a lot of love and attention. And
calm. Okay. As calm as she gets, folks. So, so she would normally be in a tree.
Yes, ma'am.
And birds, eating birds, no?
Yeah. So because they are arboreal, birds, chameleons, bats.
Okay. And we put the other snakes away when you took her out. Is that because would they fight? Would they try to kill each other? What would happen?
So with Trinity, she is just a snake that if I have another snake out, she won't rest. She will want to come towards a snake and bite. Yet we do have another Taiwanese rat snake, and that one is just
docile.
Yeah.
I think we need to give the Taiwanese rat snake to Kelly there. Because
So
she's far enough away from us to play with her.
It's all about personalities, like humans, You get many different species of snake, and you'll get 2 of the same species, but one will be not so good, and the other will just be like so calm and mellow and docile.
Mm-hmm. They've got quite a strong breath, because every once in a while she'll exhale and I can actually feel the wind on my face. I didn't expect that.
Yes, because of her size as well, you feel it, whereas a smaller one, you wouldn't actually feel it that much.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So what is the hope then? I mean, heads and tails exotics. How many animals do you have now? How far do you expect to expand still?
So in our collection, we've got 50 to 80 different species of snakes. So we're talking non-venomous, venomous, because we do snake awareness programs. So for snake awareness programs, when we go to companies, so we've actually got a contract with Fidelity ADT, where we train their guards in all our states in KZN. When we go there, we need to make it as realistic as possible, because you're going to be removing snakes. So we would take a black mamba, cobra, and actually get you to interact with that snake, put it into a bucket, because if I don't take these snakes, how do I expect you to remove it when you find it?
Now you're saying that people should remove. I always say, look, don't approach the snakes, call someone who knows what they're doing. But you're teaching people how to remove them if need be.
Only if you're trained. If you're untrained, never attempt to remove a snake. If you have a snake in your yard and you're not sure what is the identification of a snake, that snake is marked as a dangerous snake.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's guilty unless proven innocent.
Exactly.
Okay. Now we do need to close up the show, unfortunately, but in closing, do you have a message for our listeners in terms of snakes, reptiles, and dealing with them in the wild, in their gardens, their homes?
Yes. If you ever see a snake at home, never attempt to remove it yourself unless you've got the relevant training and the relevant tools. I would always say, even if it's a non-venomous snake, always use a tool. safety comes first in all aspects, and we say, you know, always use a tool, don't be a fool. you
Right.
know. So the number one thing is always call a professional. We do know it's a charged fee, but it's not a high fee.
Yes.
Because it's just to cover petrol costs.
It'll be a higher fee if it bites you, because you know there are snakes who are will lead to necrosis of tissue, if not death, and long periods of recovery. I want to say thank you, Safia, Brendan, for being with us on the show. I do want to talk more about the venomous snakes, so if you could come back sometime and we can talk about those venomous snakes, as long as you keep them in a glass and I don't have to hold them like these ones. I'm cool. This one's actually doing some strange sounds. So I want to thank you to the listeners out there. Jazakallah so much for being with us today on the show. Kelly Ramzani for coming out to spend some time with us. Jazakallah, sister. Zach Omar, our brother Sibanisu in studio, as always, our technician. And folks, just remember, today is a beautiful day to be happy. The planet belongs to all of us. It is an amana from Allah for us to take care of, and that includes taking care of reptiles and not killing things unnecessarily. Okay, so from me,